Hello, guys. This is Jorge with Greystone Investment Group, where you invest and we do the rest. Today, we have a top agent here with us, Nadia, expert in corporate rentals, uh, one of the leaders in our acquisition team, elite team. Nadia, I want to ask you today, the questions are going to be related to the elite team in those agents that are part of the elite team and for those agents that want to be part of the elite team. So talk to me about it. What has been your experience with the elite team so far?
I've really enjoyed the elite team. We do get referrals or recommendations on people to call, and with the elite team, when we call them, they're usually properties that are in distress or having foreclosure or a tax lien, things like that. And we've already had people call them, so we're not cold calling them. So that's really nice. And when I actually call them, I get a great, the turnaround is very good. So I'm able to not only use that we're going to pay cash for the property, but there's a lot of other ways and out of the box ways that we've been able to do that as well. And one is net listings. And in the past little bit of time, I've been able to get a lot of listings by using out of the box strategies.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And just in case we end up putting this video on YouTube. For those of you that are not part of Greystone, because we're talking about a Greystone team of elite agents that we have here at Greystone. What we're talking about is how our team, we have a specific team that is composed of our best agents, and we give them the tools we give them leads, we give them sellers to call, we give them a script on what to say. We give them all the tools. We tell them, hey, you could offer corporate rentals. You could offer, we'll take the property subject to the loan. We offer cash for keys, all kinds of stuff. So we give the agents the power to be able to make those offers and be able to get those prices at a wholesaler level. So we're here with Nadia. She's been with Greystone for a long time, one of our top agents, and we're discussing this. So Nadia, you said that you like the tools on the team, that you've been very successful. Talk to us now about your success.
Yeah, actually with this, I've been able to do quite a bit. In the last month, I pulled in 7 new listings just from this acquisitions team.
Let me drop the mic. So that's
yeah,
awesome. That's awesome. Wow, really? That's spectacular. 7, really?
7 new listings, and that actually comes from both. So I have some off-market properties that are not on MLS and they're pocket listings. So we have those, and I also have some that are net listings that are out there that are retail on MLS, and one is going under contract today. It was less than 30 days, and it's almost a $500,000 property.
Get out of here. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I've had great success with it because I'm able to find hot leads instead of trying to find them out in the market. Of course, I'm still seeding family, friends, and people I know, but these are hot, ready to go leads, and that I'm very grateful to have that in my back pocket.
Awesome, awesome. So what would you say to those agents? Because I've had agents in the past, top agents that join the team and all of a sudden leave. And I also have agents that have said to me, I don't know how good the leads are. It's all about, to me, it's all about perception, right? Because sometimes when you're given something, you don't appreciate it as much as when you go out there and pay for it or whatever the case might be. Agents tell me all the time, I could find better leads, but I don't see the type of closings that you're doing with the leads that they have. Is it a perception thing?
I think it's a little bit of a perception thing. Yeah, definitely. If you're given it and you're not doing it, I think it's mostly doing something a little out of the box. It's something you're not used to doing, and getting them this way. So I think that's a little bit of it, is that they think, oh, this can't happen. There's no way we can think out of the box and do this a little differently. But when you start getting the hang of it and start really understanding how to communicate with those off-market tax, even FSBOs, if you get your script down and you are working with them and know your options, know your strategies, if you can do net listing, off-market, wraparound mortgage, things like that, you can give different ways to do it. Yeah, you can be very successful with it.
Now that you mentioned that, Nadia, this is great information. What would you say is your top strategy that has worked for you working for the elite team?
Well, when I first started with you guys, I made another script that I can send to them and explain to them that we have such a big market. So if I'm talking to a FSBO or somebody that's looking to advertise their property for retail, I say, well, come with us because we have a huge database. We have over 15,000 investors, over 300,000 in our database that we can hit and share before it goes to MLS. So we're not just putting it on MLS and waiting for the fish to bite. We're sending it out there to social media, to everywhere. And when they start hearing that and start knowing our broad reach, they say, "Oh, yes, let's give that a shot." Even if we go in a listing for 60 days instead of a year, we're able to sell it pretty quickly because of our broad reach.
That's awesome. And you created the email call Win the Listing, which is amazing. Thank you for doing that. The email that you created illustrates all of our marketing capabilities, everything we do, all the followers we have. I think that's a very important piece of it, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, definitely. And if we didn't have this broad reach, because I've worked for smaller mom and pop real estate companies, and without that broad reach, it is hard to prove and be able to move properties so quick, because it's difficult to get your name out there and to have other agents see your properties.
Let me ask you the final question. What about those agents that say to me, well, sellers are not being realistic. I believe the property is worth 100. They want to sell it for $2.5 million. How do you approach, what is your approach to those? Do you agree on saying, okay, that's the price that you want to sell it for, let's give it a shot, but then little by little, if you see that with our broad marketing, things are not happening, little by little we'll become more realistic and we'll start lowering the price. I mean, what are your tactics when it comes to that?
Well, absolutely. So with the tactics, if I were to just be buying a cash offer for our investors as an off market, I have to go this bottom line. And if they are thinking that their property is worth more, I lose that project. I lose that a client. However, I say, okay, well, let's look at this a little bit out of the box. Let me go ahead and try to list this with our broad reach. Let me see if I can go ahead and get you a customer. With this one client, actually, that's going for $500,000. I was surprised. I actually was. And one thing that you can do on these is you go to the property and say, well, because of these things, and once you're in the house, they start to grow a relationship with you. So don't knock them off right at first. Go take a look at the property. Then after I looked at this property, I didn't realize that it came with 2 lots. Also, this one that I'm listing was a vacation rental. So they are actually renting it out $5,000 a month. So when I looked at it just as a regular residential, I said, oh no, there's no way they can sell it for that price. But when you look at it and all the different strategies you can do and using corporate rentals as a way to sell the property as well, for a higher amount with the return on investment, you can talk to them and see if they can come down, or you may just find a buyer like I did on that property.
Awesome, Nadia. So to summarize, what I hear here is that you gotta have the tools, you gotta do it the right way, you gotta have the options, you have to be able to illustrate the power of our marketing, very important. And you need to be persistent, that's very important as well. And you gotta give the investor options. You have to dig into the deal that you're looking at and see if there's any other options. Do they have an extra lot? Is there a better use for the property? Things like that. And to summarize it, by doing this, you're telling me you have 7 new listings and one potentially under contract close to 500,000, right? In
Yes.
that, your commission, that's about, total income is about $13,000, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. You're still, even with the net listings, you're still getting approximately the same. Yep.
So guys, it's no brainer, no brainer, guys. If you start doing things the way you're supposed to here at Greystone and the tools that we're giving you, especially if you make it into the elite team, you're gonna kill it. But if you do not do things the way you need to do, then obviously you're gonna spin your wheels. So Nadia, thank you so much for your time. Nadia Daggett with Greystone Investment Group, corporate specialist, acquisition specialist. What else? What other title you want me to put you? But thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and see you at the top.
All right. Thank you.